Hello viewer, welcome to Christian Religious Education Form 1. We are going to deal with Lesson 10. I will be your teacher, Mr. John NGATUMA. Welcome. We have been discussing the creation and the fall of man, and in our previous lesson we were trying to look at the attributes of God as it is seen from the two creation accounts. That is in Genesis chapter 1 and Genesis chapter 2. And before we start this lesson, let us revisit the question I gave you, and we see the expected answers. These were the expected answers for that particular question. And you outline 5 attributes of God from the creation stories. Outline the 5 attributes of God from the creation stories. The question was carrying 5 marks. And these attributes were such as God is everywhere. That is omnipresent. Is always present everywhere. 2, God is all-knowing. That is omniscient. He knows everything that is happening, even in hiding places. Another attribute, number 3, God is all-powerful. That is, we call that omnipotent. And omnipotent is whereby God used his own word of mouth. That is creation out of nothing. We say in the first creation account, ex nihilo creations. 4th, God is a sole creator. This means that he is the only God who created everything that you see. Heaven and earth were created by one. That is God. He is therefore a soul. A soul means one creator. 4 or 5, God is an immortal and eternal God. God is an immortal and eternal God. And this one is whereby God is existing, ever existing, is not subject to death. And therefore God exists every time. Lastly, God is a self-existent. He exists every time. And therefore, these were the answers that you are supposed to give for that particular question. In today's lesson, we are going to progress with the creation and the fall of man. And the subtopic today will be teaching from the Bible creation. The teachings from the Bible creation. We're going to be guided by the two creation story. Our reference is usually Genesis chapter 1 and 2. That's where you see the two creation stories. So we are going to see what are the teachings from the Bible stories. Meaning, what does the Bible teach about the creation? That is the meaning of the subtopic. What does the Bible teach about the creation? And we're going to be guided here with the two books, that is Genesis chapter 1 and 2, of which the one we have read. We read in the first creation and the second creation account. So the teachings, the biblical account of creation, it teaches variable lessons about God, human beings, and also environment and the universe. And the teachings are included in this. So these teachings include 1, human beings are given power to name created things. The human beings was created different from other creatures, and therefore this indicates that human beings are given power to name the created beings. So that's why you see the human being is seen as a different creature. Another teaching or another lesson you can learn from the Genesis chapter 1 and 2 is that human beings is a social beings. And when you say the social beings, they're supposed to interact, and they interact through what we call the marriage. Remember, a topic on marriage is well covered in Genesis chapter 1 and Genesis chapter 2. And we said in Genesis chapter 1, this main purpose of marriage or this socialization was for procreation purposes. But when you go to Genesis chapter 2, marriage is still there, but in this time is for companionship. So this is the marriage teaching that you... Another teaching that you can see from the Bible, you can see another teaching from the Bible story is one being was created to worship God. The human beings were created to worship God, and this one teaches that the human beings they should at least devote one day a week, that is the seventh day, to praise and worship God as the source and sustainer of their lives. And we are the human beings. We are made to communicate and fellowship with God. So in this way, the seventh day should be kept holy, and therefore the Christians should set apart this seventh day to go and worship God. They are supposed to worship God. Another point here, teaching, is human beings should take care of God's creation. The human beings are supposed to take care of God's creation, and taking care of God's creation, this is whereby, because they are endowed with a brain, they have been given the mandate to be very special creatures. So they are supposed to take care of God's creation, and God's creation makes up the environment. And how does the Christian takes care of God's environment? They are supposed to take care of the creation, because they are created in a very special way. So therefore, human beings, they are not supposed to cut down trees, for example. They're supposed to avoid overgrazing. They're supposed to discourage the dumping of waste to pollute the environment. They're supposed to take care of the wild animals. They're supposed to also avoid the noise pollution. They're supposed to avoid encroachment of water catchment areas. This is by taking care of the environment, such that all the other creation, human beings are created very special, because they're supposed to protect, to take care of all these. Another teaching from the Bible stories is the human beings, they are given the mandate to subdue the earth. They are given the mandate to subdue the earth. So as the human beings, they are supposed to subdue the earth. They're supposed to subdue the earth, and when they are supposed to subdue the earth, remember they have been given the mandate and the power to protect. And therefore, because they are given the power to protect the environment, they are supposed to ensure that all God's work, God's intents human beings, they're supposed to work on the earth. And God himself worked during the creation, and therefore, as they work, they're supposed to subdue the earth, fill the earth, because that is their mandate. Another point on the teachings is they're supposed to procreate. Procreation is a command by God. And remember the marriage from the first creation account. It is that human beings, they were mandated to fill the earth. Procreate, it means to be the co-worker of God. And therefore, in this work of being co-worker with God, they are supposed to be faithful. They're supposed to be faithful to fulfill this command. So this is a command from God. This is a command from God. Another teaching that you can see from the Bible, is human beings, our human life is sacred. The human life is sacred, and this means that human life is sacred such that they are supposed to take life that belongs to God. Their life does not belong to human beings, and therefore they are not supposed to kill. Killing should not be found in the human beings. They are not supposed to kill, and therefore, as the human beings, because they are very special creatures, they're supposed to take care of other creatures, and this one, killing is a command, even from the Bible. No killing that is allowed. Another is work and leisure are God's gift to human beings. The work and leisure are God's gifts from God. They are given this gift to work. So they are supposed to work, and God, because God himself worked during the creation. You see the 8 work that was done in 6 days. And this means that we as the human beings should avoid laziness and work. They're supposed to work hard everywhere, be it at school, be it at home, in all aspects of life. It means that they are supposed to work. And remember, God has given them the talents, and these talents, they're supposed to benefit the society and the family. They're supposed to exercise these talents. And also the leisure time, the free time, it is biblical. They're supposed to rest on the seventh day, and the main purpose for this is to worship God. For other lessons that are there to summarize these teachings from the Bible, I want us to look at the two videos. We're going to look at the two videos that carries a lot of teachings as far as the teachings from the Bible creation story.
In the beginning, God created earth and heaven. The earth was formless and dark. So he said, "Let there be light." The light shone down upon the earth. Where it did not shine, there was darkness. God called the light day and the darkness night. This was the first day, and he was pleased. On the second day, God divided the water and the sky. The wide blue sky rose above the great waters that covered the earth. The second day came to an end, and he was pleased. On the third day, the Lord caused rocks to rise above the waters of the earth, forming islands and great continents. God called the rocks the land, and he called the great waters that covered most of the earth the sea. Before the third day was done, God called on the land to produce trees, flowers, and all kinds of plants. Then he called on the green plants to spread their seeds across the land, so that the plants would cover the earth. Then the third day came to an end, and he was pleased. On the fourth day, he said, "Let two great lights be set in the sky, the greater light to burn in the day, and the lesser light to shine at night." So God created the sun and the moon and set them in their places. Then he scattered the sky with stars, which shone down upon the earth. The sun set on the fourth day, and he was pleased with what he had done. On the fifth day, God caused the seas to teem with fish, and the skies to be filled with birds. He was pleased with what he had created, and blessed all the creatures of the sea and the sky. "Go forth and multiply," he said. That was what God did on the fifth day, and he saw that it was good. On the sixth day, God created the creatures who walked on the land, both livestock and wild animals. Then he created the first man. He was called Adam, and was made from dust in God's image. Yet Adam was alone, so the Almighty caused him to fall asleep. He reached out and took a rib from the man. Out of this rib he made a woman, whom he called Eve. He took Adam and Eve and placed them in a garden named Eden. The sixth day came to an end. The seventh day dawned on an earth that lay under heaven. The land lay under the sky as the rolling seas crashed against it. Day passed into night, and the sun and moon circled the earth. God's earth was lush with green plants and abundant with life. On the seventh day, God saw that all his work was done, and on that day he rested.
As usual, after that, we want to finalize this lesson with some assignment. In this assignment, you will do it so that in the next lesson I'm going to pick from here. So the question is just only one. You outline 5 lessons from the Bible creation stories. What are the 5 lessons that you learn from the Bible creation stories? Remember, we have been looking at the teachings from the Bible creation stories. And this one, I want to use this information plus the 2 videos. You are able to answer the questions that these questions, so that in the next lesson we are going to start from here. So up to that, I want to stop there. Stay tuned to Elimu TV until we meet. And for this and much more, you have any question, you can SMS us through the number on your screen. That is 22518 22518. On our Facebook page, you can also get us through Elimu TV, and follow us on our Twitter. Our Twitter handle being Elimu_KE. I'm glad that you are watching Elimu TV. This is a TV station where you watch and learn. Thank you. Stay tuned till we meet in the next lesson. I have been your teacher, Mr. John NGATUMA. Thank you.